Hey everyone, Zeddy here today with a brand new video, and I wanted to go over something that has just been really bothering me. It's been a very recurring subject on my stream, and that is basically that when Ashes of Outland comes out on April 7th in Standard, Rogue and Hunter and those classes are just going to absolutely dominate everything and make the new playing experience of new decks an absolute frustration and just will turn off so many people. I do think Demon Hunters, since they've been given so many insane tools, might have a chance to compete with Rogue and Hunter right now, but that means we'd have a 3-class meta. It'd be horribly imbalanced. It would basically force you to only play 2 classes, and as it stands right now, that's basically what Ladder looks like in Standard. If you look at the top decks on Aegis Replay, the top decks are easily Galakrond Rogue, Dragon Hunter, and basically everything else. Yes, there are some Galakrond Warriors. That deck can do okay, but you don't see it a lot. And then you also see Pocket Galaxy Mage, or Reno Mage, which, if you look at what they're getting and what they're losing, it's not going to be very good. It's basically, they're losing Pocket Galaxy, they're losing their way of winning. It's going to be pretty difficult. So I wrote an article on Reddit last December after Descent of Dragons came out, basically stating how every expansion, the meta is horribly imbalanced. There's 1 or 2 dominant classes. It leads to everyone being frustrated, and it's just a horrible experience. And the thread was upvoted like over 4,000 upvotes, like gilded like crazy. People really felt like this was a popular sentiment. And guess what? I know we don't have the cards yet. I could be wrong, but I really feel like we're going down that same road yet again. They broke the game with Descent of Dragons. They broke the game with the wild rotation. They broke the game with the Boomsday buffs. They broke the game with Rise of Shadows. They're gonna break the game kind of here by not doing anything, because the game's already broken right now. Literally every time you queue up Standard Legend Ladder, it's Rogue, Hunter, Rogue, Rogue, Hunter, Hunter, Rogue, Rogue. And it's just not fun. It's just not. You can't play a control deck. You can't play a combo deck. You can't do any of this. It's just impossible. And it's because of Rogue, specifically, that these problems are really prevalent. Basically, Hunter is popular because it counters Rogue. You can beat Hunter with like Res Priest control deck, but you can't beat Rogue with any type of control deck. You can't. The only way you beat Rogue is pure aggression, and that's it. Even Questrud, which was deemed as like the Rogue killer, doesn't beat it. You don't reliably beat Galakrond Rogue anymore. It can't be done. So like, what do we do? How do we alleviate this? Well, as I outlined in my Reddit post back then, it's all about balance patching and balance testing. They don't want to balance test, it seems like. Fine. Well, let's fix the game before we release all these new cards so we can actually enjoy them and not just be punished for playing them. So I wanted to outline the nerfs that I would suggest going into the Ashes of Outland expansion, and basically, hopefully they have an emergency balance patch, something along the lines that if I am correct and everything is broken, these are the cards you would nerf. So let's look. First, as just on a whole, like the neutral set, Galakronds as a whole, I said this back when they did balance patches months ago, but the weapon is just too strong. When they're fully upgraded, an Arcanite Reaper basically for free, when you're already getting insane upside, whether it be getting 4 random demons or 4 0-mana cards or 4 Blessing of Kings on 4 drawn minions, that's an insane upside. Why are you getting a weapon that takes 1/3 of your opponent's health away? On top of that, it's just ridiculous. It's always felt way unnecessary, way overpowered. So instead of a 5/2 weapon, since they want to have a weapon, I would suggest a 3/2 weapon. It still lets you trade and do all that stuff, but you're not taking 1/3 of your opponent's health just from a free weapon. Next is Kronks. Kronks really breaks the game. When this card was revealed, I made a very angry tweet saying, do they not even care about balance anymore? And then when the expansion came out, it was pretty apparent they didn't, because it was broken. And yeah, Kronks is a problem. 6 mana, 6/6, basically premium stats. It tutors. It freaking tutors the best card in your deck. And if you just so happen to have drawn it, well, then you get an insane upside. I just feel like if they have to have Kronks in the game, at least make it 7 mana, so that you can't literally play it in the Galakrond on curve. It would slow it down a little bit. And at a 7 mana 6/6, that's still good stats. It's still like Tiamat. It still has upside. I just don't get why it's 6 mana, why it has all these incredible powers, and it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. Next, I would nerf 2 lackeys. That's right, lackeys. They completely break the game. Lackeys make it single-handedly in Rogue. Lackeys make it so you cannot play control strategy at all. You cannot outvalue lackeys, period. You're playing any long-term deck that doesn't want to kill you by turn 6, you cannot outvalue them. As I've been playing a lot of Highlander Warrior lately, and I average like a 30-minute game where I just lose. They've played more cards that started in their deck by a mile. Typically, they've played 50, 60, 70 cards. And the big offenders, well, first is Draconid Lackey. Since they insist on making it so you can discover random minions, I would take the discover part off of this card. It would literally just read, add a random dragon to your hand. That's it. It's still powerful, but you can't hand select the perfect dragon every turn. You can't hand select Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, which is the biggest offender, is how many times your opponent gets another Dragon Queen. You shouldn't be able to do that. They nerfed the card so you couldn't get another one. Why should you be able to get it from other cards? But anyways, I would nerf at least Draken and Lackey to read, add a random dragon to your hand. So at least you can't always guarantee you get something insane. It's still crazy. It still probably outvalues control decks, but it might help a little bit. Next, in the same vein, Ethereal Lackey. Again, 1 mana discover a spell is so ridiculous. And you can handpick something like a Togwoggle Scheme or some insane value card. At least if you're adding a random spell to your hand, the variance is a lot higher. And it's not going to guarantee that you just outvalue and destroy everybody. It's still powerful. 1 mana, gain a random spell. It's Babbling Book. It's still powerful, but it's not outright broken. So that's what I would do with those 2 lackeys. The other lackeys, they don't break the game in the same way. They're tempo, but they're not game-breaking, like I feel the other lackeys are. So I would leave the other ones. And then lastly, Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. I have always liked with Highlander cards that they basically have always been utility. They've let decks play the long game, do good stuff, remove the board, maybe a little bit of tempo. Like, look at Reno, gives you a full heal. Zephyrus, it's like removal or a threat. Almost all the good Highlander cards, Kazakis, all that stuff. They're utility cards that can create threats, but they're not outright broken. Well, Dragon Queen just says, fuck that. I'm going to create 2 0-mana dragons that basically will win the game on the spot, unless my opponent has a miracle answer and just scam you and make you feel awful. So what would I do? I would cut them free dragon to 1 0-mana dragon. Still powerful, but probably won't outright win you the game for no freaking reason. And I just think it's still a powerful card. It's still good enough to run in a Highlander deck, but you just don't immediately win the game unless the dragon is really insane. Then fine, whatever. We'll have that highlight. Next, I will look at a couple class cards. So, of the big offenders, Rogue. Galakrond Rogue is just busted. And the biggest issue is literally nothing from Galakrond Rogue is rotating. Nothing. Most people don't even run Snip, Snap, and Ziliax anymore. Nothing is rotating. So if you do all the prior nerfs, obviously it hits this deck, but there's still 2 more big offenders. First, Togwoggle. You play it on 6, you almost always win. You draw 3 0-mana cards, you just do all the broken things. I'd slow it down. I'd make it 7. It'd slow the strategy down. You don't auto-win that early. It's a bit harder to pull off. It's still an insane card, but it makes it a little more fair. Next, Edwin Van Cleef. I'd fucking Hall of Fame the card! Hall of Fame it for fuck's sake! That's it! What the hell were you thinking? Spellbreaker? But not Edwin. Acolyte? But not Edwin. Hall of Fame it. Holy shit. I don't want to nerf it. Let them play it in Wild. Hall of Fame the goddamn card. Jesus. Next, we'll look at a couple Hunter cards, because honestly, Hunter needs a real slap in the face. Because every Hunter card is just premium stats with a bonus effect, and nothing can keep up with it. Not even Rogue. That's the insane part, right? Well, Face Stalker, 2 mana, 2/3 beast. Pull a secret, play a secret from your deck. Why is it a 2/3? Why is it a beast? Like, everything. Why? Like, normally when a card is upside, it doesn't have premium stats. But no, it has premium stats and a tribe. I'd at least make it a 2/2. Why not? It's still insane. Make it a 2/2. Make it so it dies to backstab. Make it so it dies to a 2/1. Like, seriously, what? Like, why? And on the same vein, Rottnest Drake. Why is it a 6/5? Why is it a dragon? Why does it have an insane upside? Look at the dragon that Priest got. 5 mana 4/4. Deal damage equal to a minion's attack. Like, oh, it doesn't have the condition of holding a dragon. Oh my god. That's so hard to do. When you made every card create a dragon, and every dragon have insane stats. Oh no. So Rottnest Drake, make it a Yeti. Make it a 4/5. It's still insane. It's still a deadly shot for 5 mana as a 4/5, but it doesn't have the most aggressive stat line in the world. And then we have this weapon. We have War Axe for Hunter, except it's Stormhammer, and it's infinite. Again, you have to hold a dragon. Really, have you ever seen your opponent struggle to do that unless they're Highlander, and even then they still don't really struggle? Again, this weapon does so much damage. This weapon is so powerful that it's the highest win rate card in the deck over the 2 mana 2/3 with upside, over the 5 mana 6/5 with upside. It's still, this weapon wins the game because it doesn't break, and it's so much damage. Like, it easily can do 30 damage on its own. It's not unrealistic. So what would I do? I'd just make it 2 attack. Isn't that fine? 2 attack? Is that so bad? It's like, it's still really good. It's still infinite damage. It still lets you fight for, but why 3? Like, the baseline for weapons at 3 mana is a 3/2. Why does it have this insane upside on top of it? It's just brute forcing an archetype, and then when you brute force something and you don't brute force other things, well, that's the only thing that's going to see play. And that's why, with the brute forcing of lackeys and all that synergy, and the brute forcing of these dragons, that's all you see on ladder. And with nothing rotating in Dragon War Hunter as well, nothing's changing. Unless the Demon Hunter cards are so powerful that everyone plays Demon Hunter. Because the only class that's getting really strong cards other than Demon Hunter is Rogue. Last, I would take a look at Galakrond Warrior. There's 2 cards that I do think are problems. And I just feel like Galakrond itself for Warrior, I would change the Invoke to be +2 attack. +3 is just way too high. It scales ridiculously. The second you get Galakrond online, you're doing just so much damage that basically no deck could possibly hope to deal with. And it's still 2 damage would be very good, but I just feel 3 is just way too much. And Scion of Ruin, although already nerfed to 3, is still broken. It's still completely broken because it's still a 4 mana 9/6 with Rush that you can never control the board ever again against that. It's just crazy. And then if you hit the Galakrond on it, it's nuts. I'd make it 5. I'd make it 5. And it's still probably good. Compare it to the new Hunter Prime Legendary. You have to play the Prime Legendary, shuffle it into your deck, and then you get an 8 mana 4x4 Rush minion. It's still not even that much better than Scion. And you have to work a hell of a lot harder than invoking twice. Oh dear God, having to invoke twice. So these are my pointless nerf suggestions that will go completely unheard by Blizzard, but we're going to see what happens, and we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if Mr. Negative, Mr. Pessimistic is right. But I was right about Descent of Dragons. I was right about the Wild event. I was right about the Boomsday event. I don't think I'm going to be wrong, but I really, really hope I am. So if you like the video, if you disagree with me, any of that stuff, let me know in the comments. And yeah, please like and subscribe. Let me know if you like more of this commentary type of video where I just kind of vent, let some frustrations out, because yeah, it's just very frustrating, and I want Ashes of Outland to be awesome, and I just feel like we're gonna go through Galakron Shaman Stone all over again, but in the form of Rogue and Hunter. So, let me know what you guys think. I'll hit you up with a new video tomorrow, where I guess, yeah. Have a great one, everybody, and stay salty, my friends.